My name is Dusan Zaric and this is 4 a.m. Chicken Soup. In today's episode, we're going to make one of the classic cocktails, a champagne-style cocktail called French 75. Now, this drink is really interesting because it has a beautiful history. French 75, the name comes actually in a reference to a very deadly artillery piece made by the French military in the First World War. It turned the tide on the Western Front. Once that weapon has decimated the German lines on the Western Front, the English officers in the trenches started celebrating by pouring gin and champagne and lemon juice together. And once they were out of gin, then they looked around for something else. And of course, since they were in France, there was plenty of cognac, so the drink was also made with cognac afterwards. Now, classically, we want to make this drink with gin, but if you want to make it with cognac, it is as beautiful and as delicious as well. So to make this drink, we will use Fort's gin, a beautiful gin that actually I had the privilege to be a part of in development and as a part of the company that created this. This is a gin designed by bartenders for bartenders. This gin works really well with both lemon and lime juice. It's only 9 botanicals and it's really delicious for cocktails. Now, once you're done with this bottle of gin, if you should purchase it, there's a scale here for you so that you can reuse this bottle in any which way you see fit, as a batching tool, as a tool for storing, or anything else. Another thing you really need for this drink is champagne. You can't really make this drink using other sparkling wines because the recipe really calls for champagne. We're going to use a Brut Perrier-Jouet, will be really perfect for this as well. One thing to remember when using champagne or sparkling wine is to remember that the champagne or sparkling wine has a second fermentation that occurs in the bottle, which gives it the fizz or the carbonation, right? So once you open the bottle of champagne, it's best to finish it. People will try to sell you these kind of champagne stoppers, which I highly recommend not to do. Don't use it because every time you close the bottle and open, you build up the CO2 in the rest of the bottle and it just leaves the bottle and makes your champagne flat. So once you open the bottle, finish it. To make this cocktail, you'll need, of course, gin, and we'll start by pouring 2 ounces of Forts. Then we're going to use a full ounce of fresh squeezed lemon juice. Again, nothing beats fresh squeezed. And then half an ounce of simple syrup, 1.5 parts sugar to 1 part water by weight, not by volume. Before we shake the drink, I would love to show you how to prepare the garnish. The garnish for this cocktail is traditionally a long spiraled lemon twist. You want to use a channel knife. That's a tool that looks like this. It's super nice. And it creates this kind of long, skinny peels. The way you do it, you just dig in that knife into the fruit and you turn the fruit. And so you can go all around the citrus and create as long as a twist as you need, okay? Cool, so now we will shake our cocktail. Now, since this cocktail is going to be served in a champagne flute, we want to shake it a little bit less than you would usually shake a cocktail. So maybe up to 6 seconds at the most, but using really hard, convincing shake. We'll use our spring strainer, hawthorn strainer, and now comes the fun part. You open up the champagne. Again, be careful when you're opening the champagne. It is important to keep your thumb above the cap, pressing down so that it doesn't really fly out, and then slowly, as the sommeliers say, just turn the bottle. I like to turn the cap because I've done this so many times, but what you want to do is really carefully release the cap from the bottle. Like really, really, really carefully, the cork goes out without making a pop. not like this. If you can do it not as loud, it would be great. I have already prepared my garnish. It's sitting in my cold champagne flute. And I will add 3 ounces of Perrier-Jouet champagne. So this would make 2 ounces. Why, Dusan, are you pouring champagne first? What we want to do is to make sure that the bubbles finish the mixing for us. This really makes a perfectly balanced and complete drink. Then we finish by pouring the rest of the cocktail on top. And as you can see, everything blends just perfectly. So this is the famous French 75. Now, you might wonder, what do I eat with this? Since it is a French cocktail, this cocktail is paired most beautifully with French-style appetizers, such as oysters Rockefeller, for example, would be fantastic, or escargots, or snails. Cheese plates. As always, please remember to subscribe, remember to give us a thumb up, and enjoy a French 75. Stay legendary, and don't forget to have your cup of chicken soup.